So, first date in what, like 3 years? Embarrassing. So,
Hello.
tell me, what were your initial thoughts when you found out Adeline had Down syndrome?
Oh, this is one of those books. Okay. I was scared. I was at home. He told me that the blood test.
Are you talking about the screening or the actual results?
You said that there was a possibility of her having Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Which, actually, you know what? I can't do it. You're gonna have to. Which was my biggest fear, was having a special needs child. However, I would not change it for the world. But during the whole process, just like, how are we gonna do therapies, what if somebody bullies on her, using the R word, things like that. I first found out, that was my initial, like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? How, during schooling, what's going on? Are we gonna put her in public school, or are we gonna put her in private school? Anyways, I was scared, and Hannah was scared. But, after we sat down, talked about our concerns, prayed about it, we figured, you know what, these doctors who want us, go ahead and terminate. No. Hannah knew what she was doing. I was away, and she made the right call.
Hey guys, so in case you can't tell, one, I lost my voice. Two, this video is just my family and Brian's response and their initial concerns when we received Adeline's diagnosis when I was pregnant. So if you're a spouse or a grandparent walking through this new unknown, uncharted territory of Down syndrome and receiving that diagnosis, I hope this video just finds you well and you know that you're not alone, and you can just see the responses and know what's normal to feel. And yeah, so hope you enjoy. Okay, so what were your initial thoughts or concerns when I received Adeline's prenatal diagnosis?
Well, my initial concern was the unknown. Just the initial concern for her health, not the chromosomes or the characteristics that really come with that. Although, to be honest, that crossed my mind about just
like how she'd look,
and how people wouldn't accept that. And
yeah.
I was more concerned about everybody else and how they were going to treat her, which I still am. So just having a network that can tell you what to expect, or at least, once they're born, what to do next. So, but we absolutely 100% couldn't love her anymore. There's absolutely nothing that's not perfect about her to us, and we don't have any less of a love for her than we do Claire May or our own children. And with your own children who were born chromosomically typical, there were challenges, and as a parent you just face those challenges because you have to. They're your children. And
we're stranded. We're gonna die.
It's almost been an hour.
Are you kidding me?
2:22, Mom told us to take the Arrow Highway.
Yeah.
And that's 11. That was It's almost 3:22, but no, it's 10 minutes. Yeah, it's been an hour.
Okay, so truth or dare? Who's your favorite kid?
Of my kids?
Uh-huh.
I don't have any favorites.
Out of all your children, who would you rather
All
be
of them.
stuck
Like I've got 20 of them or something.
in a car on the 94?
Oh, with you for sure.
That's good. Why me? Why am I
Because
so
I am stuck
great?
with you.
Because you would never want to do this again? Okay, here, we'll do my video where I have to ask you a question about Adeline.
Oh.
Yes. So, what were your thoughts and your feelings and concerns when I received my prenatal diagnosis of Down syndrome?
At first, you're like,
Did you cry?
no, I didn't cry. I didn't know what to expect, but I knew that you were good with,
Yeah.
with Down syndrome kids, and you worked with Down syndrome kids, and you were so good with them that I thought, that God knew what He was doing, and you would be, a perfect person to raise,
Thank you.
raise Outline. So there was like a piece about knowing, it was all going to be fine, but you always wonder or question okay, what kind of life is she going to have, and what are the things she's going to be able to do or not be able to do, that kind of thing. But the overall, feeling was not of worry or anything, just knowing that God knew what He was doing and it was going to be fine.
That's a good answer. What about a birth diagnosis? Like someone who they don't really have a choice anymore. And how would you encourage them based on?
I think your blog, and I think, talking to the people that are going through that or have gone through it. Because I think initially, sure, there's probably a lot of fear of what's it going to be like, but when you see, families that have lived it and that can tell you all the joys and all the blessings that, that are in store, and that's the best way to do it. You have a story to tell,
What would you tell a grandparent in your situation or position? How has Adeline, what about Adeline would you share with them to encourage, or other than the health is an unknown?
I would say be proactive. Work with them constantly. We were fortunate enough to have the hospital hook us up with the county, who provided somebody to come out. And those things that we do with our own children, the swaddling, that was to build muscle tone. And since babies born with Down syndrome have low muscle tone, that strengthens them. And then playing with mobiles for tracking, all those things, be proactive with. And Adeline didn't fall way behind on the scales, which are typical child scales. She wasn't super far behind on most things, until she started walking, and she's still behind on the talking. But work with them, just like you would your regular typical grandchild, that you bounce on your knee. That's for the vestibular awareness, and just the swaddling, the things that you do, having them track and sing songs and read to them, and just the things that you want to give your other grandchildren and advance, and just the same for them. But work harder and be really proactive and diligent, and get them all the help that is provided, whether it's home visits or taking them to occupational therapy, speech therapy, physical therapy. All those things are vital for them to develop on track and on pace. But they're more fun to cuddle, and they're littler. They seem
for
like
longer.
They're babies longer. But you just do the things that you would for them to have their best. So, and I think that we do that with all of our children. So it's just a little bit more time, a little bit more effort, and more dedication.